No offense, but you are a stupid asshole.
That's a great soundbite.
No offense, but you are a stupid asshole.
I'm sorry, it's just a great soundbite. Hope you guys are having a great day. This is the best. That's the best line from Anchorman 2. That's it. I watched it last night. My wife was out on a business trip, so I'm like, I'm gonna watch something dumb. Sure enough, hey, Anchorman 2. Haven't seen that in a bit. Wonder if it's good. I can't remember if it's good or bad. Guess what? That's the best line from the movie. I love Will Ferrell. I love everybody in that movie. Great cast. But that doesn't mean shit when that movie just drags on and on and on. And it's like, just fucking end it already. Like he goes blind. I mean, it's silly, stupid, but it just went on way too fucking long. And I just have one thing to say to whoever wrote that and decided to make it that long.
No offense, but you are a stupid asshole.
Oh man. Good times. Good times. I got to be honest with you guys real quick. Behind the scenes, this is the fourth attempt at me starting. And it's not like I don't have stuff to talk about. And it's not like things weren't going well when I started, but I have this overwhelming sense that somebody is just staring at me. I'm in the basement and it's just bugging the snot out of me. So I don't know what it is. It could just be some, listen, I've done a lot of research, blah blah blah, listened to a lot of people talk about how different frequencies can make your mind think one thing but it's actually another, implying that there could be some sort of microwave, some sort of wave that for whatever reason is in this area, but it's giving you that sensation that somebody's watching you. I know that that can happen. They've done tests like that in laboratories and shit like that. But to be honest, nothing's changed down where I'm at in months and months and months. So that's what's bugging the crap out of me. Like I'm going along and it's just like I feel like if I look off to the side, I'm going to see somebody or something. Maybe it's wearing clothes, maybe it's not. I don't know. By the way, if I get visited by a ghost, listen, if my wife's listening, earmuffs, okay? Why can't it be like some super attractive woman that is just like naked? Why can't that happen? I never hear of that. I always think about that. Like, we had DMAC on this show after he got fired from the Fan. In between that and then him going on to Altitude, where he's kicking butt and taking names. And we were joking around, and I froze up because I said, we were talking about ghosts or something like that. And I said, hey, if I come back as a ghost, if I die before you, I'm going to haunt you and just mess with you. And he's like, what would you do? Because he's like very quick witted. And I'm like, I don't know. I froze. I essentially shit in my pants or shat my pants, excuse me, while talking to him. But I think I officially found out or really processed what I would do. What I would do is I would just visit him naked. I would be naked at very inappropriate times. He could be having a romantic dinner with his wife, right? Having a serious conversation with his wife or kids or something like that. And I'm like in the background where only he can see me. And I'm like Captain Morgan standing with my schlong hanging out. And since I'm a ghost, I can make it bigger. Okay. Like disgusting, like absurdly large. Like, is that an elephant trunk between the Huff's legs? Wow. But then I could actually make it look like an elephant trunk. And it could go like and just really jack with them. I think that would be great. Okay. But circling back to the more important conversation is why isn't there more attractive ghosts that are naked? I'm just saying. Just saying. Listen, I know it's not very a mature thing to talk about, but if you believe in ghosts, it is kind of weird that I've never heard of a story where the ghost was naked. They're always wearing clothes. And if you think about it, it'd be more likely if it's a transfer of energy, your energy disappears because we do produce energy as a human being. And if it was wasn't it Einstein, like energy never really goes away, something like that. So if that's the case, and your quote unquote spirit is just in the realm of, it's just in energy form, not attached to a body, your clothes aren't part of that, but in a way your skin and everything is. It's more logical that. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I need to see some ghost nipples, and that's it. That's it. Okay. If you've seen a naked ghost, please let me know. DeHuffPodcast@gmail.com. Listen, okay, guys. Owl Owl Pipe ID. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. They're like, what did we get into? Why? Why are we a proud sponsor of DeHuff Uncensored when he's talking about ghost boobs? It's a kind of a it's kind of a logical question in a way. We talked about this before. I would love to talk to Neil deGrasse Tyson, who's just a really brilliant guy. I don't believe he thinks ghosts are real, but I would love for him to scientifically try to, okay, if I had to write a paper, if I had to give a 5-minute lecture on, I don't believe they're real, but if they were, this is how they would be real. I would love for him to do that. I need to try to send him a message and get that going, because I think that would be fascinating. I don't want to. I don't want his take on aliens. Aliens are kind of just like, ugh, whatever. I want somebody to be like, how could it be real? Yes, you don't think it's real, and here's why you don't think it's real. Tell me how it could be real. What would the science be? So I think that would be fun. Got a lot to go into today's show. Sorry. I went off the rails. I did. I'm sorry.
No offense, but you are a stupid asshole.
Right, as always.
Whoa, I'm getting ganged up on here. What the hell? I'm sorry. Listen, it's gonna be rolling around in your head. We're in the Halloween season, and you're gonna be sitting there going, I would like to go to a haunted house. Just saying. Listen, and it's not just the female body that would be fascinating. Ladies, or guys that are into dudes, you want to see a ghost dick, don't you? You do. You do. Woo! Ghost boobs and ghost dicks. It's the Duff Uncensored podcast. Yeah. I bet you didn't know I write jingles on the side. I haven't actually sold any, but hey. Hey, don't forget today's show is presented to you reluctantly on their part. I love them. I love them to pieces. Owl Pipe ID. Go to owlpipeid.com. Go check them out. As well as Bet Online. In fact, basketball fans, it's that time of year again. The NBA is back from opening tip-off, excuse me. I said tip-off. Tip-off, to buzzer beaters. Bet Online has you covered with the best odds, biggest promotions, and live in-game betting on all your favorite teams. This season, every game matters. Bet Online has every stat, matchup breakdown, and live odds to bet on during the game. And it's not just the NBA. Bet Online has odds on everything from football, the World Series, NHL, to political props. Go ahead and make your way to betonline.ag today to get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. It's Bet Online. The game starts here. And what we need to do? Forget the ghost. Forget him. Forget him. If you're here, speak in the microphone. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Wiener. Did you hear that? Oh, boy. All right, let's move along. Let's jump into some headlines.
Let's go! Let's go!
And now, here are the headlines.
I don't know what the heck is going on with the airlines. I should have sent my insiders over at the airport a message and asked their opinions on these, and I'll do that after the show because there's something crazy going on when it comes to airlines. Spirit Airlines had some passengers freak out they said it was last week is what they're thinking. And it's because they saw a rat on the plane. In fact, it's not just on the plane, it was inside the plane. Not just like where the people are, but above the light system in the bowels of the plane. There's a guy that took a video, holds it up, points the camera towards the light, and you can see on the other side of the light, there's a rat. Not a mouse, a freaking rat just crawling around. Master Splinter was up there looking for his freaking Ninja Turtles. Donatello, Leonardo, Michelangelo, Raphael. Where the fuck are you guys? Come on. It was gross. It was gross. That would freak me out. Here's the thing, though, with rats and mice. We talked about this before. Again, this is like the third or fourth story that we've talked about in the past, like, say, 2 or 3 months that we've heard of. I may have skipped some because it was just getting kind of, I'm like, is that the same one? I don't know. But we talked about this before. Mice, rats, they're attracted to the wire coating. They'll chew on those. You're in an airplane. You don't need that shit. There was an airplane that saw a mouse scurrying about, and it turned around to clear out the plane. This one, they were on a 3-hour flight. I'm not sure when in the flight they discovered this, but it must have been at a point where they're like, fuck it, we got to keep going. But that's troubling. They turned it around because the one previous, they turned it around because if the mice chew on the wrong wire, that could be devastating. It could be tragic. What a shitty way to, for the plane to crash. God, you hate to even say that because of a fucking mouse or a rat. That's disgusting. Plus, you got to think of sanitation issues. You don't want to fuck. Sorry, okay. I say the F word a lot, and I apologize to some of you that get offended by it. But you don't want a freaking rat or a mouse crawling around where your food's been. That's disgusting. Airline food's already iffy. That just makes it worse. And there's a good chance that it's. I'd be curious to where they would say it officially comes from, but it's probably something like from when they unload or load up the luggage, or from when they load up all the food and stuff like that. Either way, that's a problem. I don't want that to happen, and I especially don't want to see that because it's going to freak me out. Because if all of a sudden I'm trying to doze off, or I'm just sitting there in panic mode because I don't want anything crawling on me, and if all of a sudden something crawls on me or brushes against my feet, I'm going to freak out, okay? Not going to be happy about it. I'm already, on edge here today doing this show because I'm like, I don't know, maybe there's a creepy naked ghost watching me right now. I don't know. Hi, quit playing with yourself. Don't know how many times I got to say that to you. That's just gross to me. And troubling. I'll follow up on this after I talk to, I know like 2 or 3 different people that work for different airlines over at DIA. I'll pick their brains, see what they have, what their thoughts are, and I'll get back to you because I'm wondering how big of a problem is it? Where's it coming from? And how can they fix it? And is it easily fixable? And if it is, why isn't it being fixed? Because you could be doing your part, say here at Denver International Airport, they could be crushing it and they got a handle on their pest control. But then you go to Dallas and those dickheads over there don't know what they're doing. Or, somewhere else. Probably somewhere in Florida, let's be honest. Okay? In Florida, they're the ones that fuck it up. I don't know, man. That's creepy. Ugh. It's better than a snake, but still, I don't want to see that. Have you ever seen anything weird on a plane like that? I've never seen anything. I've never seen a spider. Uh, I've seen stains on the seat. That's about it. The only real dramatic thing that happened on a plane that I was on was maybe 2 rows behind me. Somebody went into like a diabetic shock, and thankfully it was great because there was a physician on the plane and they made that announcement. Is there a physician or a doctor on the plane, whatever they said? And they tended to him and they helped them recover. And it was pretty scary. But that's like the most dramatic thing I've seen on the plane that I can recall at this moment. There may have been something else, but that's wild. Let me know if you've ever experienced anything like uh, animals or just drama. I still don't know what I would do if you had some irate customer or fellow flyer on the plane. You would hope that you would, stand your ground and defend the innocent in that situation, but you just don't know. I mean, if the dude's like, I mean, I guess it really just depends on who's with me. If my kids are with me, it's going to be hard. I'm going to try to protect them as well as my wife. But if I'm flying by myself, motherfucker, it's go time. I don't care if you're 7'3". Okay, I'm about to kick you in the dick so many times. You ever seen those memes? Where there's those martial artists where they're in like Japan or somewhere in China, something like that, and they're like training their body to not feel pain, and there's somebody just constantly kicking them in the nuts. That's my move. That's my move. A kangaroo was on the loose in Durango, Colorado. Maybe I should read this with an accent. A kangaroo was on the loose in Durango, Colorado. Oh my, that's pretty wild. The red kangaroo escaped from its home and was wandering about. Apparently, it's legal in Colorado for you to own one. That's why I didn't know that kangaroos could be owned in the state of Colorado. If you have open space, by the way, if you ever go down to Durango, Durango is a beautiful part of this state. There is so much beauty in this great state of Colorado. It's really hard, other than like say downtown Denver. It has its charm at times. At times, uh, but you go to the outskirts. The further you get away from the city, the more and beautiful it is. But anyway, yeah, apparently you can own a red kangaroo in Colorado. You just got to follow all the rules and regulations. But it was pretty humorous. I was gonna play the sound, but it's just the police officer giggling the whole time. She's like, "It's a kangaroo." I'm like, nah. Now I'm good. But that's it escaped from its home. They eventually captured it and then brought it back to whoever owned it. I want to know more about the people that own kangaroos. Like, are you weird? Because I feel like you'd have to be kind of weird. Because I understand farmers who own pig, livestock, stuff, all that. That makes sense. You're using it to end up selling or whatever, stuff like that. Maybe you're a small farm. Maybe there's a purpose. Maybe it's just you raise the animals and then you eventually get them butchered for your own family use. that makes more sense to me than somebody that owns a kangaroo. That's just wild to me. I just don't understand it. I mean, do you and then I want to know, like, what's the interaction with the animal like? Is it kind of like having a dog? I don't know. What do you do? What do you do with the kangaroo? You don't eat it. Does it help your farm? Or is it just one of those status things? Oh, that's probably what it is. Hey, let's go over to Carl's house. He has that kangaroo. We can drink beers and stare at it. That'd be great. Beer? What are we, a peasant? Oh, you caught me. I was just trying to sound like a regular Joe. Let's go make sure we drink some wine. Rich people, am I right? I don't know if I'd want to own a kangaroo if I had the space. Obviously, I live in Thornton, Colorado, a suburb of Denver. I'm not going to own a kangaroo. They're adorable, but when I visited Australia, I don't recall how big red kangaroos get, but I've seen the ones that are more of the beige. I don't know officially what they're called, but some of those get huge and they're fucking frightening. There's a picture somewhere of me joking around at some zoo. I don't remember where it was, but it was around Sydney, and it was a really good zoo. And we're in the kangaroo part, and my brother goes, "Dude, there's like this statue of a full-grown male kangaroo," and my brother's like, "Go over there." This is classic brother stuff. Again, I'm at the time I'm in my 30s, like, yeah, early 30s. He's like, "Go over there and make it look like it's fucking you in the ass." And I'm like, okay." And I'm bending over, waiting for him to take the picture. And I'm like, "Chris, did you take the picture?" Because I'm like kind of looking back at the kangaroo, like, "Hey, you gonna put it in or what?" type of thing, right? And then I look over, I kid you not, and I see my brother going, I hear him officially going, "Scott, stop, stop, stop." And I look over, and there was a field trip going through. And that's not a joke. I'm not not trying to be funny. That's what happened. And I'm like, "Oh shit." I don't know if any of the kids saw, but I imagine that they did, and they're fucked up now. Remember when we went to the zoo and that man was getting his bottom inspected by the kangaroo? Yeah, anyway. Yeah, I damaged people, okay? It was funny though. But I was like, after the kids left, I was like, okay, we have to take the picture now. So there is an actual picture of me pretending to get banged by a kangaroo. That's what the DeHuff boys do. We take stupid pictures. I miss my brother. I do. I can't wait to go back out there one of these days. Such a beautiful place. We were right around Sydney, and everybody's so nice. I want to go back. Eventually, I want to go back, but it's a matter of justifying the finances. So anyway, well, one of these days, I'll do the show out there and everything. It would be great. Hey, real quick, owlpipeid.com. You got to go there right now if you're not already there. I'm going to tell you how to get 30% off your order. Owl Pipe ID makes decals that are industrial quality and made for the trades at a lower price than you're going to find at the big online sticker retailers who are just selling you lower quality stickers. Owl Pipe ID they're in mechanical rooms throughout the city, helping plumbers identify what's flowing through the pipe. It's funny because I'm talking to Rhea over at Owl Pipe ID, and she's explaining like what a lot of these stickers are used for. And I'm like, "Oh, I didn't even think about that. That makes so much sense." But they also make promotional stickers for breweries, cannabis shops, retailers, schools, as well as podcasts. Because I have them. I have them, and they're freaking amazing. I've slapped some on the back of my car because I met Rhea and everybody at Owl Pipe ID about a year ago, and I got some stickers. They look like I just put them on. They've been on there for over a year. So it's really cool. The Owl Pipe ID shop is based right here in Inglewood, Colorado. So it's a small business based out of Colorado, which is fantastic. All their stickers are made on premium industrial vinyl, and they're made with UV baked ink. And that means they're going to be protected from sunlight for 7 years. If you're still unsure, Rhea is going to work with you and send you some free samples of your logo or artwork. Go to owlpipeid.com. That's all I'm asking. Just go to owlpipeid.com, and there's going to be a big red button that says request a quote. Tell Rhea what your project is, and she's going to respond quickly. If you just want to email Rhea directly, send her an email, sales@owlpipeid.com. Again, sales@owlpipeid.com. Make sure you include in the email my exclusive promo code DeHuff to get 30% off your first order with that's worth $5,000 or less. Check them out at owlpipeid.com. This is good news. And I remember when this was officially passed. But just so you know, you got to be ready for this, because as of January 1st of 2025, this should be clear across the country. But Colorado has a new law going into effect on the first of the year where you're not even allowed to hold cell phones while you're driving. That's a good thing. It's a really good thing. And if they catch you, you're obviously going to get ticketed and fined and all that stuff. So it don't really have much else to talk about other than distracted driving is a really big problem. I see it all the time. I got cut off the other day, but it was an older lady. She had white hair, and she cut me off. And as she cut me off, I can see in her hand is her phone, and she must have been looking at a map or something. I'm not really sure. Or she was texting or something like that. I laugh, but it's kind of scary because I had my son in the car and we're like, whoa, what the heck? You stupid broad, learn how to drive. I did not say that. Definitely don't want to say that, because if you have kids in the car, they will repeat everything, even though my son's 11. But I remember doing that when they were younger. And like they would drive with me, and then my wife would be in the car with me at a later time, and then say somebody drove bad, and then like my kids, one of them or both of them would be like, God, that guy's an idiot. And it's so adorable when it comes from a kid that's just like, "Dude, that's an idiot." It's so awesome. It's so adorable. Anyway, just keep an eye on that. You need to start preparing your mind. If you're somebody that has a bad habit of that, start getting better at it. I'm giving you a heads up. It's October as I record this. As of January 1st, you're going to get ticketed. Don't get blindsided by this. I see people complaining on the Nextdoor app. They're like, what the hell? What the heck? I just got a ticket for having expired license plates. This is stupid. What the hell? It's like everybody knew it. And how about this? Just renew your plates. How about that? I still see people driving around with expired plates by, like, say 6 months, like, or if not worse. Just pay it, okay? Save up and pay it. And sometimes it's on really shitty cars, and the older the car, the less expensive it is. So maybe don't buy crack this week, and then do that. Pay your your registration. Let's see, do I buy crack or renew my plates? Yeah, I don't know, the crack. Crack is good, yeah. You like that? The ghost liked that one. I could hear a chuckle. I could. He actually put it down his pecker for that one. Anyway, hey, you know what? Let's jump into some sports.
Going deep, tight ends and long balls. No, it's not an invitation to a ditty party.
Oh, gross!
It's sports with DeHuff.
Ew, gross. The Denver Broncos take on the sad sack Carolina Panthers this Sunday. Andy Dalton was scheduled to start as the Panthers quarterback, but he was sadly in a car accident with his wife and his kids, and he sprained his thumb. So now Bryce Young is in. I don't know. By the way, I there was no other injuries that I've heard, and he has a sprained thumb on his throwing hand. It's like he doesn't want to play. That's all I'm saying. Whatever. But that's just me being a conspiracy theorist. Bryce Young is in. Bryce Young is ironically enough, he's a young quarterback. He's 0-9 on the road, I believe, is his stats as a pro. And going up against the Denver defense, who is, I believe, second in the league in sacks, first in QB pressures, and third overall as a defense. He's going to have his hands full. The Denver defense should have a field day, a fucking field day with Bryce Young in this Carolina Panthers offense. I expect there to be multiple turnovers. I'm not going to go out and say that there's going to be another defensive touchdown. When I did predict that with the Patrick Surtain pick six, that was phenomenal. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I expect there to be at least 2 turnovers. That's what I'm going to go out there and say. But I think honestly the part of this game, because on paper it seems like it should be an easy win for the Broncos. I honestly look at this as this is a good opportunity for the Denver Broncos offense to have a good game. And if they don't have a good game, this is going to tell us a lot about how good or how bad the future looks for this Broncos offense. Specifically, Bo Nix. If Bo Nix can't settle those happy feet, and because when his feet are settled, he does a lot better. When he's just like, it's like, dude, what are you doing? Stop. You're a pro now. He when he gets those happy feet, he makes bad throws. Can he settle those down? He should be. The Broncos offensive line, while it does play well, a lot of those stats are contributed to the fact that Bo Nix is able to escape the rush. I want to say Bo Nix is like the 4th leading quarterback rusher in the league. He scrambles a lot. He has to, because the Broncos offensive line does have a tendency to collapse. The fact that Nix hasn't been sacked a lot is due to Bo Nix having that scramble ability. But really, at the end of the day, what I'm looking at for this game, to come out of this game, is I expect Bo Nix to have, I really want him to be sniffing that 300-yard mark passing. That's what I want to see, because he hasn't done that. I believe his highest game, he did it twice, 216 yards, I want to say, is his most yards passing. I want to see him closer to 300, if not surpassing it. Okay? That's what I expect. I expect the Denver Broncos to win this one easily. 34-3, something like that. That's what I expect. But I don't know if it's going to happen, because the Denver offense struggles so much. If they can get the run game going, there's a lot of ifs in this. I have all the faith in the world. Again, I've said this plenty of times this season. I have so much faith in the Denver defense. I just still have a hard time wrapping my arms around the Broncos offense. Can they do it? They should have a great game against the Panthers, but will they? I would go to Bet Online right now and put money on the Broncos winning. I believe the Broncos are heavily favored to win that, so I don't think you're going to win that much money. But the thing is the bigger question is the offense, and how does the offense come out here? If the Broncos offense doesn't just explode and just nut all over the place, then we have a problem because they should be, because the Carolina Panthers are not good. They're not. So if Bo Nix doesn't have close to 300 yards passing, if the Broncos don't have a running back get to, you know, 99 to over 100 yards rushing, I'm going to be disappointed. If Cortland Sutton doesn't receive a fucking ball, that's going to be disappointing. They need to throw the ball downfield, enough of the short game shit. They started doing that a little bit more last week. Keep doing that and open this thing up. You have a lot of good tools on this Broncos offense, but the problem is you're just not doing anything with it. It's like you have a Lamborghini, but you're keeping it in first gear. Can we try to get to at least second gear in this Broncos offense? See if it works, or see if it just stalls out. Because it might look good on paper, but it might be just a shit engine in there. We need to find out what are the capabilities of this offense. So I expect the Broncos to win this one, but what I'm curious about is, how does the offense look? How can it actually have a superior game? We'll see. Continuing on with sports, this came in from Keith. He said, DeHuff, Sean Keeler of the Denver Post wrote, CU Buffs Travis Hunter is an NFL wideout playing cornerback, according to the scouts. Receiver is where he can make the biggest impact, is what he is quoted saying. And then Keith added, should Hunter stop playing both ways and just focus on offense? I think that's a good question that a lot of people don't want to address. Travis Hunter did have a good, he makes plays on the defense. He did have that forced fumble to win the game against Baylor. He plays well. But my thing is, I kind of lean towards, I would just like him to pick one. But that being said, he's not going to do that this year. He's definitely not going to do this year because he's, in the conversation for Heisman, and that's going to make him stand out. So if he continues to play well, if the Buffs continue to win, yeah, he's more likely to win the Heisman Trophy, which kind of goes along with, I just saw this on Bet Online, the NFL draft top picks as of right now. Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter are favorites to go first overall. By the way, those are, as of right now, the Patriots and the Browns to get those picks. So Travis Hunter could end up being a Brown or a Patriot. Shedeur Sanders could be a Patriot or a Brown. Both in need of a good quarterback. So I imagine what will happen is when it's a really good question. Is Travis Hunter better as a receiver, or is he better at defense? I almost think he's better at defense than offense, Keith, but I don't have his stats in front of me, and I really haven't looked into it that deeply. You guys tell me. I would say I agree, and I would much rather him play defense, and I think he could be a better impact. And then they just use him every now and then on offense. But I don't know. You guys let me know what your thoughts are on that. What do you think? Should he? It's obviously going to depend on when he gets to the NFL. What are their thoughts? Do they think that it would make sense to do? I mean, because you're playing against big boys out there. It's big boy football, and you're going to wear yourself out, and you're going to get dinged up a lot quicker if you're playing Iron Man football. So we'll see. I think he should pick one and then just go in on a fill-in basis and help out once he gets to the pros. But as of right now, I don't think it. I just I don't stop what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing at CU. Figure that shit out later. Obviously, just focus on now, Travis, and not on what's happening next year. I know a lot of people might want to talk about it, maybe, but I would say just stick with it. Keith, I don't think I really answered your question, but I don't know. You guys let me know, DeHuffPodcast@gmail.com, or hit me up on my socials at DeHuffPodcast. You guys are amazing. I really appreciate all of you guys.
No offense, but you are a stupid asshole.
The fuck, man? I was trying to wrap up the show, and you just blindside me with that shit?
I didn't do fucking shit.
Oh, God. Now you're playing the victim again. What the hell?
What the fuck?
I know. Classic, man.
Right, as always.
These guys. Anyway, have a fantastic day. If you want to participate in the show, like I said, hit me up on my socials at DeHuff Podcast, or you can get me on my email, DeHuffPodcast@gmail.com. God, it's already Halloween week next week. That's crazy. I do not dress up, although I may wear a wig or something for one of the shows next week. I don't know. I'll wear something slutty. I don't know. Maybe. I'll ask the ghost in the corner that's watching me. Maybe there's two ghosts banging. That would be great. That's something else you don't see. You don't see ghosts having intercourse. Everybody likes to have sex, but you don't hear about it for ghosts, huh? You don't. I'm just saying. Never hear of anybody getting jayed off, by a ghost. I'm sure it happens, but everybody's like, "Oh, it's so bad." Is it though? Is it? Yeah, it probably is. That'd be kind of scary. Would you go with it or you just stop? Anyway, let's stop. I'm sorry. Anyway, thank you guys so much for supporting the show. Really appreciate it. Big thanks to owlpipeid.com. Go check them out at owlpipeid.com and make sure when you click on the big red button to tell Rhea that you want to use promo code DeHuff, or at least that you heard me talk about it and just say my last name, DeHuff, and then she'll start working with you and see what your thoughts are and go from there. Also, they weren't a sponsor for today's show, but they'll do 2 on, 2 off. But Kirkwall Group, go to kirkwall.com for all your bookkeeping and tax needs. They're amazing. Richard over there is awesome. Again, kirkwallgroup.net. And, of course, Bet Online. Go check them out at betonline.ag. It's DeHuff Uncensored. You guys have a fantastic day. I really appreciate each and every one of you. You guys are amazing.
No offense, but you are a stupid asshole.
I'm just trying to do my job, bro. Just trying to do my job.
What the fuck?
Anyway, you guys have an amazing day. Let's continue to move forward. I'll talk to you next time.